little sloths, I'm back home. Shooby-doo, I'm home. Hello, I'm back home. Shooby-doo. Hey little sloths, how are you guys doing? I hope you're having a great day. I'm ready to feast on some Sonic with you. I'm back home. Shooby-doo, I'm home. Hello, hello, and this is Hot and Stay May. Sonic drops mic. Yes.
Follow my Instagram at Nikocado Avocado, and if you do, I might just follow you back.
Hey guys. Oh, gosh, I don't want to rip this whole bag. So I got a feast from Sonic. I got so much food, I don't even know if it's going to fit on this table, but you know. I have the craziest story time for you today. So if you're really into hearing me chit chat, chitty wagga wagga whack, well, today is a story time for you. So put this on in the background while you commute to work, while you wash the dishes, while you paint your nails, while you brush your cat, whatever you gotta do. I'm here to keep you company, boo. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Nikocado Avocado, and I eat food, but I also talk about a lot of stuff because I'm very opinionated. And that's why people will either love me or hate me. I think I'm the most hated mukbanger on YouTube. Like, mukbang channel person. Like some, you know, like, people like, you know, Joey Graceffa might do a mukbang, but he's not a mukbanger. He just does a few. I think out of all the mukbang channels, I'm the most hated, so I'm very opinionated. Some people hate me because I eat like shit. Okay, well, it's delicious. Today, we're doing Sonic, like you saw. So, let me show you everything I got. Yes, I'm so excited. I didn't bother checking. Well, it's Pennsylvania. They better get the order right in Pennsylvania. Okay, so these are the conies, or conies, however you call them. These are a foot long. Like me. Did I get cheese on the black wall? I hope not. Okay, so this is chili cheese. Ooh, they didn't even put that much on there. What the hell? That's like no... Really? That's not even that much. I expect a lot more chili. Why did I get 3? I only ordered 2. I'm very confused right now. Okay, this one looks a little... Maybe they gave me an extra because they knew they were skimpy on it. Skimpy on the order, okay? Oh, my cheese... Oh, no. The cheese fries also came in. Okay. Cheese fries and 2 foot-long chili cheese dogs. I got my drink. Oh my gosh. I got my mozzarella sticks. Yay, I love mozzarella sticks. They're probably one of my favorite, like, junk foods. Here's my burger. I got a double cheeseburger. Ooh, it's still nice and hot. Yeah, that... my mozzarella sticks fell down on the table. Okay. Get out of here. Well, oh, these are my boneless wings. Okay. I got barbecue, honey barbecue, and what was the other one? Something barbecue. I also got an order of French fries. No, I didn't. Oh, it probably came with my burger? I don't know. I don't even know what the hell I ordered. Here are my tater tots. What are the French fries for? I have no idea. Oh well. And Mr. Noodle, you guys miss him and love him. I miss him so much. If you guys want t-shirts, phone cases, iPad cases, sweatshirts, hoodies, there's a link down in the description box to get Mr. Noodle. Ta-da! I am a fat boy at heart. A fat boy in the candy store. A fat boy in real life. Oh wait, where am I? Oh, we need my... Oh, how hot. Oh. Okay. How are you today? How are you today? That's what I say. How are you today? I am feeling good. I'm awful. Also, I'm eating good too. They're hot. Wow. I'll let those cool off. Ocean blue. This is my favorite drink from Sonic because it tastes like the ocean. Actually, no. The ocean would taste like fishy, fishy, fishy. This tastes like Slurpee from 7-Eleven. We all love a nice Slurpee. Alright, let's eat some of this foot-long hot dog. Ouch! It's hot. How are you today? How are you today? That's what I say. And we can't, oops, goodbye. Forget the ranch. I love ranch. I always have, but more and more as I eat it. Here's a boneless wing. Oops, no. Oh, a little bit fell. How are you today? So. Are you ready for my story time? Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. I went to the Apple store for the fourth time, because after they fixed my computer, thank God, after a week, wait, it actually took only like 3 days, but the waiting time, and yeah, it was about a week. I was so sharp, it hit my lip. I go to the Apple store and I'm like, okay, well, guess what? My whole top row of keys aren't working. F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6. The brightness, the sound levels, none of them's working. I just paid to have it done. So I had to drive all the way back, an hour. Oh. My mom thought it was ridiculous how there's only 3 Apple stores in the whole state of Pennsylvania. Philly over here, Pittsburgh over here, and Lancaster in the middle. Anyways, I go, and I'm like, hi, I have an appointment. He's like, okay, go to the Genius Bar and have a seat. Someone will be with you in a moment. So I walk down over. I sit down, and the most heartbreaking thing happens. Oh, marinara. Oh, it's right there. There's a woman, a Genius Bar Apple lady, and she's talking to the person who's supposed to be helping me, saying, hi, I need your help. Because when I first walked in, there was a lady sobbing right at the entrance, and I didn't know, she was literally sobbing. I didn't understand what was going on. I'm like, I thought maybe she got something deleted important. That's what I thought. And, the Apple specialist was talking to her, trying to help her. So that her specialist comes over to the Genius Bar, talks to my specialist, and says, hey, I need your help. That woman over there, switched from AT&T to Verizon on her iPhone, and all of her voicemails have been deleted, including those from her now deceased son. And she doesn't know how to get back, and neither do I. Help me. And I was like, oh, damn. Oh, God, that's awful. And I thought to myself, like, wow, that's really sad. Like, if Orlin, you know how he sends me, well, you don't know, but he sends me voicemails on WhatsApp. Tater tot. I'm deported from him right now. No, it's nice to hear your lover's voice. Or your brother, or your sister, your mom, your dad. Even just a friend. It's nice to hear people's voices. I know in Colombia, I would go 5-6 months without my mom calling me. And I would forget what her voice sounds like. And then I would call her, and her voice would sound so nice. And I would say, oh, it's good to hear your voice. Chili cheese fries. So anyways, I'm sitting there, and the woman next to me, I'm thinking like, oh, she obviously overheard this. It's right in front of us. let me break the ice and say, oh, that's so sad. So I looked at her, and I was about to say something, and she looked at me, and she was like this. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, I know you. Ding! In my head, I was like, you're my 4th grade teacher. Oh my God, it was Mrs. Wittgenstein from 4th grade. And she was like, I thought that was you. How are you? And she started laughing. I started laughing. Oh my God, I haven't seen you since I was in, like, probably middle school. So, 15 years ago. Excuse me. Put this in the ranch, because I love the ranch. This is the barbecue. Barbecue boneless wings. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my God, my burger. It's the only thing I haven't tried. Oh, those French fries. A double cheeseburger from Sonic. Okay. That's big. That is a big burger. Oh my God. Mmm. Oh my God. Mmm. Some. So I'm sitting there. And she's like, how are you? What are you doing with your life? Oh my God. And I said, she said, the first question is, what do you do now? She said, I didn't know that was you. I thought you had moved away. I was saying to myself, that can't be him. He left, but it looks just like him. My 4th grade teacher remembered me. She has thousands of children that she taught, and she remembered me. Well, for a reason. I was always the Broadway star. Crying, having breakdowns. I remember one time I got in trouble with her. And I was crying about something. And she called me up to the desk and she was like, I did not see one crocodile tear coming down your face. You're going to be on Broadway if you keep that act up. And sure enough, I moved to New York City. And I was in the pit orchestra for off-Broadway shows. And I was literally right there on Broadway Avenue working as a performer. So, you know, sometimes teachers know what you're going to end up doing. And now so she says, what do you do? And I said, Mrs. Wittgenstein, you're not going to believe what I do for a living. And she said, with you, I will. That's what she said. With you, I will. Excuse me. You guys, people, 4th grade, this tall. You know, people do change in life, but sometimes parts of you stay the same. It's not a bad thing. I mean, unless it's bad qualities. Like if you, what's a bad quality that you can't grow out of? Being racist. You can't grow, I mean, you can, but it's harder. If that's ingrained into you when you're a child, it's always going to be kind of there, which is really unfortunate. Unfortunate, I mean. Did I say fortunate? No. Unfortunate. So anyways, I said, I eat on camera. And she was like, what? I said, I do YouTube. And what I do is called eating shows. I get a lot of food, I put it in front of me, and I eat, and I share my life over the food while chatting and eating. I tell stories. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes I tell funny stories. And people eat with me. People that are single, coming home from work, have no one to eat with, or people that are bored. Or people that can't get really good food and they want me to eat it for them. Or people on diets. I get that a lot. I eat for the people on diets. I said, humans love food. There's always a fascination with food. And chili cheese fries. Oh. Cheesy and warm. Mmm. And, you know, she was like, wow, that's so awesome. I mean, she was probably judging in her head, like most people. Most people would be like, that's what you do? But I said, you know what? It's paying my bills way more than it was when I was freelancing as a violinist. That's what I wanted to do. And I failed miserably. I didn't fail. It's just I couldn't pay any of my bills. I was living off savings, and I knew in a couple months I would be broke. And I told her, oh my God, I remember when you told me I was going to be, I was having crocodile tears. I was crying. And you got all mad. Well, guess what? Now I cry for a living. And she was like, very confused. And I was like, I'm very expressive. I just talk about my life, my ups and my downs. And that's that. It's like a reality TV show on this channel. Nikocado, Avocado. I told her I was married to a Colombian. We live in Colombia. And, yeah. It's really cool when you see people from the past, like a decade ago, 2 decades ago. Well, no, not 2. I'm sorry. A decade and a half. I'm 26. I was probably 9 years old when she was my teacher. So... That is so good. And she was like, how did you get into it, this eating thing? I said, I don't know. I just did it. One of my friends told me to do it, and I did it, and everyone loved it. So I kept doing it. And now it's so popular. The burger is good. Everything is really good. And then she looked at me and she's like, so yeah, you eat? And then I was like, I know where she's getting at. Or maybe she wasn't, and I just said in my mind. Because, I'm very aware of my weight gain. So I just said, oh yeah, I've gained like 80 pounds. And she was like, oh. And she started laughing. She like patted me on the back. She's like, oh my God, you go. I've gained like 80 pounds from this. Excuse me. That's just water weight. I forgot to tell her that part. Excuse me. I should tell her it's water weight so she knows. Then she won't feel bad. She'll be like, oh, it's okay. It'll go away. I love Sonic so much. These tater tots, which are potatoes, tots. They remind me of the 4th grade because I used to eat these at lunch when I was in all of elementary school and middle school. And even high school too. Did I? No, it was more so a middle school thing. I love tater tots. If my middle school and my elementary school had mozzarella sticks instead of French fries, I would have been in heaven. I will say, all the kids were afraid of her. She was very tough and very strict. Her name makes you have chills down your spine, right? Ooh. It's Mrs. Frankenstein. She was very strict. Oh my god. And I told my mom, honestly, like, Mrs. Vikingstein, if you're watching, I really enjoyed you. But that's because I'm tough, and my personality could handle you. Most 4th graders, you should be, like, teaching college with the amount of strictness and the amount of expectations. She was intense. I've seen so many videos, I think I talked about this in another eating show, of teachers, like, screaming at children, getting this close to their face and calling them stupid, raising their voice, like fighting with kids, like like snapping. And nowadays we have YouTube and everyone has phones, and all those teachers get fired or suspended. Every single one. If a million people if the video goes viral of a teacher screaming at a kid, and 2 million people in America see it, that school board will always side with the child. Because no matter what a child does, even though teachers have to put up with a lot of shit, they like so much crap. I think teachers are significantly underpaid in America, but we're not going to go there. For all the things you have to deal with, it's tough. You have to have patience. And the one little snap that you have could cost you your career nowadays. Because everyone records what happens. And honestly, Mrs. Vikingstein, I think if you were still teaching nowadays, when all 4th graders have iPhones, I think you would have been in trouble. You were very, too intense for little children. Oh my god. And it's not just me. My mom, as soon as I came home, I was like, I saw Mrs. Vikingstein. And my mom just started going on about, she's like, Nick, I've talked to probably 30 parents. All the parents would talk about that woman. She's like, I had to go to the principals and special request for your sister not to get her, because I knew it would break her. She's like, everyone in the whole county knew about that woman. She's like, I remember my friend, Alexis, her mom made sure she didn't get her or something like that. And then her neighbor also was like, yeah, she had a reputation. And it was beyond being strict. Like, if your handwriting's bad, I'll give you a bad grade. Her way of communicating with children was frightening. Frightening. I remember the lady who used to cut my hair all through high school said that she had Mrs. Vikingstein, and she said that she also, to this day, will never forget her. That she scarred her unlike any other teacher by, like, locking her in a closet and throwing stuff. I remember one time, I'm going to make up a name, Sandra. Sandra was, like, fidgeting under the table, not paying attention to Mrs. Vikingstein when she was reading for, like, story time. And Mrs. Vikingstein noticed that her eyeballs weren't looking at her. And she just silently closed the book, got off her chair, she had like a high chair to read from, walked to the middle of the room where, Sandra was sitting at the desk and kind of fidgeting. And Mrs. Vikingstein gets the book, pow! Slams on the desk. Everyone jumps up, including Sandra, who didn't even see her coming. Could you imagine jumping up? Oh my god. It was very loud. But it didn't stop there. So it was very violent, like, in her face. Like, trying to show intimidation. Trying to be very threatening by, like, throwing objects right in front of her face. It was very loud. And then she literally went this close to her face. This is her, this is Mrs. Vikingstein. In the hall! Now! And Sandra went into the hall. Mrs. Vikingstein followed her, closed the door, but we could all hear the way she screamed at her. screamed and screamed and screamed and screamed. It was just like borderline abusive. When I went to high school, I remember like when I was a freshman, I was in the orchestra with like, you know, the juniors and the seniors. I remember my friends that were played the violin with me, some of them had Mrs. Vikenstein. They said by far she was the scariest teacher they've ever had. And this is like high school. We're talking about a 4th grade teacher, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. You know, like 8 years later, people are still talking about her in high school. My mom said that a lot of people tried to get her fired in the community here. Mrs. Vikenstein's watching this, and she's like, thank God I'm retired. Listen, I think you're a cool lady. It was nice saying hi to you today. I just don't think that was the appropriate job for you to teach children. That's my opinion. And if you're watching, I don't care. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm just saying my memories. Sharing my memories and yeah, I'm sure she knows. She was intense. And I just feel bad for teachers too, because sometimes you have to put... I remember one guy, let's call him John. I know his real name. John, so 9/11 happened when I was in 4th grade, and we're sitting there at our tables doing our morning journal or whatever, and we always had to watch the news, or did we? Or the news happened to be on. I don't know. The news was on the TV in the upper right, the left-hand corner of the room. Breaking news. The Twin Towers have been hit by planes. And I remember John looked at it and said, wow, cool. Shit, if Mrs. Vikenstein's watching this video, because I told her about my YouTube channel, so she might watch this one day. And he was like, wow, cool. Oh, she lost it. As any person would, right? Like, oh my, that's not cool. Yeah. My mom told me as soon as I walked into the house, I had text her at the Apple store saying, I'm sitting next to Miss Vikenstein. And my mom said, oh, I'll never forget how you were crying on the floor because Mrs. Vikenstein will give the students a bad grade if their shoebox wasn't to the exact measurement of her request. When she's like, we spent hours going from department stores to shoe stores looking for the perfect shoebox for the project. So basically, our assignment was to make floats for a parade. The float, you know what a float is in parade? It's like a little elevated box with wheels. So think of it like this, turned upside down. Do-do-do-do-do. Well, we were supposed to use shoe boxes as this float. And all of us were assigned a county in Pennsylvania. It was a really cool project where we learned about the county flower, the county flag, what the county's famous for. There's a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch, a lot of German, a lot of Amish. Like every county in Pennsylvania is different. Philadelphia is very different than Lancaster, which is very different than Pittsburgh. So what was my county? Cumberland? I don't know. But, and so, excuse me, we would all have the shoe boxes lined in a row to make a float. And on the assignment page, it said 9 by 8.5 by 2.4. It was just, you know, a certain woman's shoe size. So, or I don't even know if it was woman's. It was just a certain measurement. And it said, if you don't have the exact measurements, we will be taken off points. And I remember her actually getting a measuring tape and measuring people's shoe boxes to see if it's the right size. Like, that's obnoxious. And I remember, so when I came in, my mom was like, oh, I'll never forget that. It was so crazy. And so, so this is what happened. I was sitting at the Apple store and my mom had texted me and I told Mrs. Vikenstein, I was like, oh, my mom says hi, because she's like, oh, how are your parents? What are they doing? I was like, oh yeah, they're still working, because she's retired. My parents aren't, even though I think she's younger than them. I was just like, my mom says she'll never forget how we had to like get the measurements exact for the shoebox project for the floats, and I was crying about it. And she looked at me, she was like, that was probably a Nicholas drama. like I just made it up, you know? And I was just like, oh, I just laughed it off. I was like, yeah, probably. Because I just told her about my YouTube channel, which is dramatic. And I was showing her the photos of me eating and stuff. And I was just like, you know, I'm my crazy self. And she knows who I am. That's just how I am. And so she was like, oh, that's Nicholas drama. And I texted my mom. I was like, as I was leaving the Apple store, I said, oh, Mrs. Vikingstein said that was my drama. And my mom said, oh, no, it wasn't. That was all her. And my mom never really, she's a very basic old lady typer. No periods, simple phrases. When she said it was all her, oh no, that was all her. Her all was ALLLLLLLLL. No, that was all her. And I was like, oh shit. My mom's already getting mad from the couch while texting this. And so I came home and I was like, yeah. And my mom was like, yeah, I'll never forget. I was standing upstairs at the front door. She's like, I'll never forget, Nick. It was so obnoxious. I said, that is not, the shoebox measurements is not a reflection of your work ethic, of your creativity, or the amount of effort you put into it. It really isn't. It was an obsessive and needless criteria to make kids and parents stress, because parents always help their kids with projects. Like, if you're in 4th grade, kids always come home and mom and dad help them. That's just how it goes. And so my mom's sitting on the couch, right? And she goes, I called so many of your friends' parents, and we all talked about it, and it was just needless and obnoxious. And she said she would take the measuring tape and measure your shoebox to see if it was the same size. If you guys don't know, there's many different shoebox sizes. And some stores wouldn't give you the size you wanted. You know, like, oh, can I have a shoebox for free? That's in the recycling bin. So, I'm getting full. Mmm. Mmm. I feel like I'm about to pop, honestly. Oh my gosh, you guys, well, I'm getting full, but I'm gonna have one more mozzarella stick. I'm also getting sleepy. This food is gonna knock me out. Every time I have like a big feast, I always sleep so well. I'm just like, chew and have a nice, long, deep sleep. Oh. Do you guys have any teachers that not scarred you? Well, yes, mine didn't scar me, but scarred others. That's what I'm saying. Any teachers that have left a good impression or bad impression? In general, my teachers have been, I mean, she was a good teacher. I mean, I liked Mrs. Vikingstein. She was actually a good teacher. You know, the class was organized. She was just a no-nonsense, no-tolerance type of lady, but just to the extreme with the scariness on top of it. I mean, I learned well, I think, and I learned how to write and read and improve my skills in that sense. And but I've never had like a bad teacher, like a teacher just that was mean and scary, but also just like terrible at teaching, just like pure abusive. She wasn't like pure abusive, she was just scary. But like some of you guys watching this probably have had some very bad teachers, and I've been fortunate. I've had some teachers that just didn't give a shit. Like I could tell that in my high school they were teachers. They were male teachers, and they were teachers just so that they could teach the school wrestling team or the school basketball team. And the requirement for them to be the coach for the wrestling and the basketball was that they had to teach, and they just were not good teachers at all. They clearly did not care. They clearly just They were the type that would give us packets and say learn. I remember one of my teachers in high school, history, was it? Geography, something like that. People would cheat in front of him. He just wouldn't care. He just wanted to be able to be the coach for the wrestling or whatever it was, some kind of sport. Other than that, my teachers were always pretty good. But I think now that I'm older and I'm a young adult, I'm going to be 26 soon, I look back at some of my teachers and I'm just like, damn. If I knew them in real life, we would not get along. Like, I remember my psychology teacher in high school. She said that homosexuality, she still believed, even though it had been written off the psychology book of, like, classified mental illnesses, she still believed it was a mental illness, like it had to be treated, like it was a bad thing. Like, that's fucked up. What else? I mean, that's the only thing that came to mind. But you know, teachers really do leave such an impression on you. I can name you every teacher I've had in middle school. My orchestra teacher, my music teacher, my art teacher. I loved my art teacher. My home ec teachers. I remember my principals, because I was there all the time. I remember my first grade teacher. I remember my kindergarten teacher. I remember all of my teachers. It's strange. I don't have vivid memories and recollections as a child because our brains are still forming. Like, most of my vivid memories are like 18 plus. Maybe 12, 13, 14 plus. But still, the older you get, the better it is. But, you know, remembering stuff when I'm 8 years old is very difficult. But I can tell you my teacher. I can tell you what she looked like. I can tell you her mannerisms. I can tell you how he or she made me feel at the end of the day. That's the kind of stuff you don't forget. So I think it's very important that we have good teachers in this country, all around the world. But I thought about bringing up you know, we're just sitting there having small talk and chit chat and stuff. And I kind of want to bring up, because, you know, over the past 5-6 months, there's been school shootings. And, you know, some people are suggesting that we arm teachers or let them carry weapons. If Mrs. Vikingstein had a gun, oh my God. I mean, she's not teaching now, but I kind of thought in my head while sitting there, like, let me ask what she would see what she would say. But then I thought to myself, I was like, maybe I shouldn't get into that. This is a casual hello, how are you, goodbye. This is not a time to open up a can of worms. Maybe she really wants some rifles in her closet where she puts the kids during timeout. Maybe she would really love to have some in there, and I really don't want to hear that. So maybe it's best that I didn't bring that up. I didn't. So if you're a teacher and watching this, please know that what you do and say right now is forever lasting on those children. Forever lasting. My hair cutter was in her 30s or 40s. No, 30s, because Mrs. Vikingstein is now like 60-something. And so when she was cutting my hair, it was probably like mid-20s. Because I remember during the summer they sent out the school letters like, your teacher is so-and-so. They assign you to a teacher. Because, you know, the schools were so big, there would be like 3 third grade teachers, 3 fourth grade teachers, 4 fifth grade teachers, stuff like that. Well, my hair cutter, and she was just like, oh yeah, I had her too. I have nightmares about her. So, you know, and I guarantee if I go to that hair cutter and I go see her, I'd be like, hey, Susie, guess who I saw? Mrs. Vikingstein. She would be like, oh, like, you don't forget your teachers. So if you're a teacher, be a good teacher. And if you really don't like teaching kids, just find a different career. No one's going to take it personally. But the kids will suffer if you're there clearly not wanting to teach them, or just being cruel. Like, if you don't have patience, if you're pissed like me that you don't get paid well enough, then find something else, because teaching is so valuable because it involves so many other people. It's not an office job. It's not a truck deliverer. It's not a nurse where it's kind of like, I take care of you while you're healing for a week and you go on your merry way. I never see you again. It's like you have this person for a year, every single day. Especially as you're growing. It's an imprint on your brain. I'm telling you. Teachers should be paid double what they're... Like, the national average for teachers is like $50,000. That should be $100,000 in my opinion. And maybe that way, people will take their job more seriously. Maybe it will become more competitive. And that would raise the standard in America for intelligence. You know, the United States is lacking in reading and math and social skills and science compared to Japan and Norway and all these other countries around the world that outsmart us. And it's a vicious cycle. The kids don't care. The school board doesn't. The school board just wants good SAT scores, but they don't take care of the teachers. It's like YouTube. If I wasn't paid well on YouTube, well, last year we had quite a problem. And what did you see happen? All the creators had a fuss. Creators started doing Patreons. A lot of creators pulled out. You know, teachers have to be paid well so they enjoy. So they feel like they're being honored. They're being valued. And in that way, the kids become smart, and the nation as a whole improves. It all starts with money, and I feel like our government, for the amount of taxes we pay, maybe less on weapons that we aren't using right now. We're not in war right now. What is it, $2 billion wall that Trump's proposing right now? Maybe all that money can go towards our babies, our children, and that would improve the entire country in so many ways. It would trickle down. Better teachers, smarter kids. Smarter kids means better actions, better language, safer, richer. And that's how you raise the standard as a country. That's how a country becomes powerful, when their children are armed with knowledge. Well, there's so much money floating around in the United States government. We're going to pocketbooks of old men that fall asleep in Congress. Teachers are amazing, and I love teachers. So if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It's down right below. And follow me on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, I think you're going to love my photos. Follow me there. It's Nikocado Avocado. And if you are a regular viewer, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for being here. And if you're new, please consider subscribing. I'm here every single day, basically. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, you guys. Bye!